Hey y'all, it's Tayla and I'm back and I'm better like never before. Today I'm going to give you guys my labor and delivery story. It's kind of all over the place because I'm feeding my son, tending to him, trying to do the video, didn't take notes, and do my makeup at the same time. Like, I still have mommy brain, I still have pregnancy brain. It's a lot, bear with me. But if you guys want to see how all my shits went down, then just keep on watching. I'm going to do my brows and then I'm going to tell you guys. I worked all the way up until I had him. It was hard. I was really lazy. Everybody was getting frustrated with me at work, but I didn't care. Like, when you pregnant and you work, you be like, fire me. Like, fuck it, fire me. I was even trying to stay extra hours, like, because I knew at any point I would have my baby. So I was trying to work all the way up until the end, which I ended up doing. My feet swell up horribly, like my whole body, my legs. I thought I was a freaking Snicker, y'all. I was so thick. But yeah, it was just like day to day was just harder for me. Like when I went to go get a freaking is this glue almost gone? When I went to go get a freaking ultrasound, they told me like I could possibly have my baby on Halloween. And I was just like, what? Like, no, boo, I've been pregnant. My baby is coming October 11th. Like we've been saying, I am not holding this baby for another month. Like, it was not freaking happening. 1 week, I went to work only twice. The 7th, my head was hurting so bad. Like, so bad. And I was just thinking, like, it's the baby. He needs to come out. Like, it's horrible. My boyfriend always told me to call a doctor anytime I felt some type of way, but I like literally hate going to the hospital for any reason, even though I know it's pretty selfish because obviously I'm growing a baby inside of me. But he used to always tell me to go to the hospital. So when the 8th came, the next day, I was just like, fuck it, I don't have it in me, I'm not going to work. Like, I'm calling the doctor. This migraine is horrible. Maybe she can give me something, you know, that'll tone the shit down. Like, at this point, it was unbearable. I don't know if I was being dramatic, but in my book, the shit was unbearable. Yeah, at that point, the migraines was unbearable, so I called the doctor in the morning. I'm like, I'm not going to work. Like, my attitude would have been so bad, and everybody was calling me mean and everything else, so I'm just like, I'm not doing it. Like, I know this is the fucking end. It's reaching the end. It was the 8th, though. My due date was the 11th. I'm gonna start wearing my brows like this. But yeah, my due date was the 11th, so it wasn't that far away. So I'm just like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna call the doctor. So I just got up, threw anything on, and me and Mel, well, I called the doctor. She told me that she was not in the office and she was going to a hospital near my mom's house to deliver a baby, so I can just come see her there. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, I didn't want to deliver at this fucking hospital. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go see her, whatever, because this is just unbearable at this point. So we threw anything on and went to the hospital. We was in the car, my boyfriend parked, and I was in the passenger seat. I kicked back while he drove because we don't live near the hospital or my mom's house. And I was sitting there with my seatbelt on, and it was time to get out the car. When I say I literally could not take my seatbelt off, not because I couldn't move, but because I couldn't see. Like, I literally was like pressing around, trying to hit the seatbelt button, and it just wouldn't work. I'm like, and I just like kept saying like, okay, hold on, try it again, hold on, try it again. And I told my boyfriend, like, I don't know if I'm tripping, but I can't see. Like, I really can't see. So he like, you can't see? I'm like, no. And I'm like, I got it. So I did the seatbelt, and then I got it. I got out. We walked into the hospital. Like, I can see, but my vision was so incomplete. It's weird. Sorry. My vision was so incomplete that it was weird. So whatever, I get in. They saw I was pregnant. They immediately put me in a little wheelchair thing to push me around. Like, when you're pregnant, you don't have to wait. And I love that, because that's why I hate going to the ER. So they asked me, like, have I ever been to the hospital before, etc., etc. So, sorry, I keep breaking my sentences, but they asked me, have I been to the hospitals, questions like that. I answered them. They're like, okay, they're gonna take you to triage. I think it was called. Whatever. I got in the room, and the lady started asking me questions. Like, okay, do you feel like this? Do you feel like this? What all do you feel like? So I started telling her, like, yeah. And then I'm like, I'm starting to feel like I can't see. Like, I can see. Like, at this point, I will only see this. Like, it was like I couldn't focus no matter what eye I used. I kept, like, closing the eye to see if it was, like, a certain side of my face. No matter what eye I used, I could not see half of people's face. So, like, I would see one eye and everything else. It wasn't black, but it just, I couldn't see it. Like, it was the weirdest feeling I've ever had in my life. So I just kept staring at people, like trying to see people. So I kept telling my boyfriend, like, I can't see, like, I can't see or whatever. So my Steve waking up. They checked me into the room and told me to get in the gown. I hate them damn gowns. Like, they get on my fucking nerves. But anyways, I did it or whatever. So I'm just like, they're like, we think we know what's wrong with you or whatever. So, but nobody's telling me nothing. So when I get to the room and everything, and the doctor finally comes in, he's just like, they're trying to tell him, like, okay, so she feels like this. And he was just like, oh, she's not leaving without having her baby. Like, that's what he said. Like, he didn't look at me, he didn't talk to me, he didn't ask me how I was feeling. Like, none of that shit mattered. He just was like, oh, yeah, you're not leaving. So I looked at my boyfriend, he looked at me, and we was just like, oh, okay. So from there, it was freaking history, okay? That shit was hard. They checked me, which I hate the most. That's the worst fucking part. And I was not dilated whatsoever or anything like that. Mind you, my aunt been saying, like, it's weird, like, it's weird that you're, it's weird that you are that swollen. Like, that's not normal. And I'm just like, well, the doctor just keeps saying it's from pregnancy. Like, she just keeps saying that. She keeps saying that. Nobody wants to listen to me. And I'm just like, well, that's all she keeps telling me. Like, I don't know what y'all want me to say to y'all. Yeah, so they checked me. I wasn't dilated whatsoever. So then eventually they come back and they're like, okay, so we're going to we're going to induce you, which I did not want. I'm just like, oh my God, I wanted my baby to come natural so I could be at home. But it's just like, okay, we're going to induce you. And yeah, like, they started breaking down the type of inducement they were going to do. And it was like a little string that was going to make me basically dilate, force my cervix to dilate. So I'm just like, whatever, like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You want your baby, you gotta go through this. Like, that's just what it is. So I just sucked it up and basically prepared. Everything, like, drove me crazy up until my epidural. The putting the IV in drove me in freaking insane. My boyfriend's like, you're gonna break my arm. I don't believe I was gonna do that, but you know, they put the string in me. That freaking hurted. So the first 12, it had to be in my body for 12 hours. The first 12 hours did not, it didn't do anything. And when they checked me, it was still uncomfortable. Like, I freaked out each and every time they checked me. Like, it was just like the worst experience ever in my life. Like, I hated it. So, long story short, they had to induce me twice. And each string had to be in for 12 hours. So, the second day, they did the first string at like 4 o'clock. So the second day at 4 o'clock in the morning is when they put the second one in. They didn't check my cervix for the whole day. they end up telling me, the doctor comes in and tells me, like, he comes in and tell everybody that's in the room also, like, okay, she's in, basically I'm not in a good state. I have severe preeclampsia, which means I can have a stroke. Hold on, let me do this, because this boy. If I had too much stimulation to my brain, like watching TV, being on my phone, people talking to me, then I can have a stroke, I can have a seizure, like multiple things can happen to me. It was just a bad situation. They only limited me to 2 visitors instead of 3 at a time, because at this point it was getting pretty serious. So the next day, so 12 hours from 4, which is 4 p.m. is when they like, okay, so far the little string, I don't know what it's called, thing is doing good for you, like we're on a nice track or whatever, let's check you to see if you dilated. It wasn't exactly at 4 though. I think it was like 5, closer to 6. Because of the preeclampsia, every 6 hours they were drawing my blood, like just to make sure that the medicine that was keeping me sane, not sane, but keeping my blood pressure down because it was skyrocketing, they was making sure that like it was working and I was okay. So at that point they're like, okay, everybody want to keep calling me. They're like, okay, this is doing good for you. So like Monday at 11 is when they gave me the epidural. They kept asking me like, are you gonna get it? Now's the time to get it. And I'm just like, yeah, these contractions are bad, but they're bearable, and I don't want it to get unbearable to where I can't sit still for epidural, especially because I have a huge needle phobia already. Let me dust my powder off. I didn't want me to not be able to get it at all. And then it was just like, in the event that I have an emergency C-section, I still have to get it. So because I really want to go natural, so I was just like, I'm gonna get it, make this as smooth as ride as possible, just make this all easy. So I got it, the epidural, at 11 a.m. At 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. is when they started saying like, okay, we're gonna start checking you and stuff like that. It wasn't until like 5 that they actually did check me, or like the end of the hour of 4, almost 5, that they decided to start checking me. When they first checked me, I was 2, almost 3 centimeters, I believe. And then the next time they checked me was at 6, and I was 9.5 centimeters. Like, it was no in between, it was no leading up to that. Like, I literally jumped like that. So they was like, oh my god, like, we didn't expect it to go this fast. Like, now we're gonna start pushing. By this time, most of the feeling of my contractions are coming back. Like, I'm like, I can feel this, like, can y'all put some more medicine? They're like, no, this is the perfect epidural, like, we want you to be able to feel it so you can know what you're doing. And they ran that whole bullshit on me, and I'm just like, I don't want to feel it, like, what the fuck? So yeah, they was doing whatever prep they were doing, they had to do, and then like it was my turn. So eventually I just kept like doing that type of thing. They had me all the way up, like directly as if I was standing up in the bed. And then the doctor came and was like, okay, we're gonna push, like, we're gonna try. And I'm just like, so when we tried, I couldn't get it. Like, for nothing in me, I could not do it. I could not get myself to push him out. Like, it was just way too freaking hard. They stopped and like, okay, we'll be back, try again. So I went through my contractions again. He falling asleep. I went through my contractions again, and they came back like, okay, it's time to push. I think my mom, my boyfriend was the 2 best people for me to choose to be by my side, because like it was just, they was the perfect duo. Yeah, they came back to check me, and I'm just like, I can't do this. Like, that shit was the hardest thing to do in my life. Trying to push and pull. They want you to pull your legs forward but push your booty out so that the baby can come out. Fucking impossible. I told my boyfriend, look, you're gonna have to push my legs back. You're gonna have to push my legs back because this is not something I can do by myself. And he was just like, okay, I got you. So when we tried it, I'm whispering to my mom, like, Mom, tell them to get the vacuum. Like, I can't do this shit. We're whole ass going back and forth on the side of them. Everybody's down here. My mom on the side of me. And I'm like, tell them I can't do this. I can't do this shit. Like, I can't. She's like, Tayla, shut up. Like, she didn't want me to get a C-section. Me not knowing that they would give me a C-section if I'm saying that. He ended up saying, like, okay, we're going to get the vacuum, whatever. I'm like, yes, shit. Like, this is not something I could do by my damn self. I was so excited for him to want to use that damn vacuum. It was like 4 pushes tops and my baby came flying right out. I'm surprised my boyfriend was even able to stomach it because he watched the whole thing. He was more so by my, I would say, kneecaps, and my mom was more so by my hip. As far as the bed goes and how they were standing. So the baby ended up coming out and my mom and boyfriend left me immediately, like, and went straight to where they took him to take 100 pictures of him. Like, they just completely, I mean, my boyfriend came back, but I didn't like the fact that they didn't ask him if he wanted to cut the umbilical cord, and they didn't immediately put my son on my chest. They decided, oh shit, stink. You trying to take my makeup brush? Brought him back as I was getting stitches, and the doctor's telling me, like, oh yeah, she's bleeding bad and everything of that sort. So then they try to put him on my chest while I'm getting stitches, and the doctor's trying to stop my bleeding. Like, it made no sense whatsoever. I was just like, okay, take him back because this is stupid. Like, you can't possibly think that I can hold a newborn while getting stitches and my blood drawn. Like, please. So they took him and my boyfriend went right back to him. Like, I just wanted to sleep. So I just wanted to rest. I wasn't texting nobody. I wasn't like talking to nobody. It's just, you know, because he said no stimulation, and I was just fucking tired. Like, I was so drowsy. I just didn't do nothing. Like, I barely even wanted to hold the baby. It's not because I didn't have a connection, but it's just because I didn't, like, it was just far too much going on for me. So when I did get some rest, I answered my phone. I started texting people back saying thank you. Everybody was saying congratulations and all that jazz. So I eventually got to hold him for real and connect on him and feed with him and do everything like that. And I just snapped into my mode immediately. But it didn't feel like I was having a baby or I had a baby. The first thing I thought of was, I don't see how people do this and I don't see how they do it more than once. Like, no. But now I can see it because I honestly don't remember. Like, I don't remember how bad the pain was. Like, it wasn't unbearable or nothing. It just was the pain you've never imagined feeling. This is going on my 6th week of being his mommy. And I haven't had no mental breakdown yet. I mean, when I cry, but it's not because of anything he's doing. It's just pure emotions. I adore him like crazy. Like, nobody understands until they have their own baby. But so yeah, that's pretty much my labor and delivery story. It wasn't nothing jazzy. I was in labor for, I would say, like 27-ish hours. I don't know how many stitches I got. They never told me. When I asked, he said he didn't count, and I'm just like, but he was still sewing, so I'm just like, okay. I didn't really like how that hospital, you know, did their biz, but I was there. I had to be admitted. They weren't letting me leave, so, you know, I didn't really have much of a choice. But yeah, y'all, that concludes my labor and delivery story.